Priests of the Diocese of Kumbo in the northwest region of Cameroon have come together this Holy Week 2023 to spiritually purify themselves and to reassess their call to their sacerdotal ministry in what is known in clerical circles as the Day of Sanctification, or simply call it the Clergy Assembly.
Now, sanctification comes from the Latin word sanctificare, which means to make holy. And so a day of sanctification of priests in our diocese is a day in which priests come together in order to sanctify themselves, in order to make themselves holy, in order to see how they can journey better in the path of holiness. Because one of the principal duties for which a priest is ordained is to sanctify the people of God, especially through the celebration of the sacraments. And since one cannot give what one does not have, nemo that what none habet, a priest needs to be holy in order to be able to make others holy.
This year's sanctification was animated by the priests of the Binjunkabe Dinere. Their soul-searching presentation on Tuesday, the 4th of April, was titled "The Priest, Pastor of Souls and Administrator of the Church's Temporal Goods." At the recommendation of the bishop, this presentation was a call on priests to do the work for which they were ordained, like catechesis, instead of abandoning all to catechists, and the administration of the sacraments, instead of concentrating on rearing pigs and keeping fowls. At the heart of this presentation was this conscience-tickling series of questions. Is the project run in the parish really necessary? In whose name is it run? And is the project enhancing the ministry, or is it more of an obstacle to the ministry?
Basically, we chose to talk about priests as pastor of souls and as administrator of the temporal goods of the church. In this sense, we felt that we will best be able to respond to his worry. The worry that it's happening that at times we lose track of what we are ordained from. Basically, being pastors of souls, the care of souls, the ministry of sanctifying, of teaching, and of course also of ruling. And that we may get cut off in other activities which derail us. The projects which are of various, the ministry of sanctifying, that we are there to make sure we nourish the faith of the Christians through the administration of the sacrament. But for that to be effective, it needs preparation.
It is worthy of note that a day of sanctification precedes the solemn celebration of Chrism Mass in the Diocese of Kumbo. And it is in the context of this Mass that priests renew their commitment to the promises they made at ordination. In his closing remarks, therefore, the bishop called on priests to mean it when they renew the promises, and not to let it be an empty ritual.
To renew, as we do tomorrow very concretely, to renew our priesthood. And I've said this is the most beautiful time that we have in this is that we have these days together, and tomorrow we'll renew our promises as priests. It may just be an empty ritual. No, something deeply concerning us, and that we will make a commitment to become better priests, holier priests, priests after the mind of Christ.
Judas was a perfect actor and an accomplished hypocrite who could hide his motives from all except Jesus. He deliberately betrayed Jesus for money. He symbolized total failure in discipleship. He left the room and went out into the darkness to betray Jesus. Jesus showed his last act of love for Judas by giving him a piece of bread dipped in sauce from Jesus' plate, which to the Jews was a great sign of honor. Sometimes we too can become hard-hearted like Judas when we consciously practice crookedness and thus get addicted to evil habits which lead us to betray Jesus and the church over and over again. Each person may ask himself this day, am I the Judas of this family? Am I a money lover? Will I betray the Lord and the church for a few francs?
Gloria,